녹화돼. 예. Let's begin today's meeting. We have textbook, Oscar, and my own one-page proposal from last semester, and questionnaire. Firstly, let me talk about a little bit about questionnaire and in terms of course requirement. Basically, this is for general coursework, so we do not have absolute grade. We just have satisfied or unsatisfied. If you submit your own one-page proposal as well as its presentation, that will be fine for satisfaction. SU. 어디 갔지? 유튜브. Course grade is S or U, satisfied and unsatisfied. From the last semester coursework with the practical proposal writing, all 12 students got S, so don't worry about unsatisfied. But for your own shape, for your own improving your English or your communication, this book is very nice in terms of American and business English. It's not only American but also business nature. So we scientists and engineers are mostly not very, especially for non-native speakers like us, we are not very exposed to business English, but this book is very nice in that respect. Also, this time, this coursework, all you attendees are credited to apply book coursework, EDX, so you can check the website, EDX website. I provide two links, part 1 and part 2. The title is English at Work in Asia. Part 1 is application, job application. Part 2 is simply job interview. In terms of my own coursework, first part is writing one-page draft. I will say draft. In October, I'm expecting to have your own draft submission. Then, and in November or at the beginning of December, we will have peer review and presentation session. You will present your own one-page proposal, not only writing but also presenting. We will have two sessions, main sessions. So by email or by attendance like this, you will submit one-page proposal and you will do your own presentation. In parallel to this main coursework, for EDX coursework, we have English at Work session and we have CV, writing CV and job interview. But book EDX is optional, not compulsory. This says nothing with general coursework requirement, but if you take this coursework by official certificate track, the application fee or certificate fee, each one is $50. So this amount will be reimbursed by USD office. So this is for your own benefit. This is not necessary, but for me, I got some support, so I myself will take those book coursework in parallel to mine. So in such a way, I'd like to check my own English and I'd like to improve my English together. Also, I'd like to share my own experience with you. So under that direction, that is my direction. Any question? No? Silence. Among 12 students this time, actually 2 of you have taken my previous one titled Practical Research Proposal Writing, right? But the other 10 are new to this kind of book, so Arne is saying it's better to take time to read the book together. So today, all of you now have a book. The other three from internet may have their PDF. So unless you have question, let's read some part of the text. Chapter 1, Birth of an Idea. So in parallel to Birth of an Idea, I'll explain something about my own one-page book. So after reading this one. Okay? Person except Muhammad, any of you heard about one-page proposal book previously to this coursework? Even in Korea, we have Korean version translation of this book. So you can buy or you can rent such a book. So you read this one. Do you know businessman Khashoggi? Page 1, chapter 1, page 1. Let's look at the text together. Muhammad, would you read the first paragraph?
I wish to thank Adnan Khashoggi for the numerous courtesies extended to me over the years and for his good advice concerning many matters, not the least of which was the importance of knowing how to write a one-page proposal.
Are you reading acknowledgement or chapter 1?
Chapter 1. Chapter 1.
You are reading acknowledgement? I was perplexed because I couldn't match the sentences.
Okay. Chapter 1, The Birth of an Idea. In the mid-1980s, when I was a 37-year-old businessman, Adnan Khashoggi, one of the richest men in the world, invited me to Monte Carlo to join him aboard his yacht. We were to discuss a business proposition my company had presented to him a few months earlier. I had met Khashoggi sometime before at the Mount Kenya Safari Club, where we were introduced by a mutual friend. Khashoggi is a uniquely personable and gracious man. I enjoyed his company immensely and admired his obvious success in international business. I was looking forward to doing business with him. But here in Monaco 2 years later, getting around to business took a while. I was his guest at the Hotel de Paris in Monaco for nearly a week as I awaited my turn in his schedule.
Stop there. This is a little bit lengthy, but in terms of introduction, the author of this book is explaining his own contact with some wealthy, or at that time one of the wealthy person, and he mentioned several places. What places can you find there?
Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo and
Kenya Safari Club.
Safari Club in Morocco, yes. Several places which were famous for business and gambling and any celebrity. Also, he mentioned some actress, Brooke Shields, and some celebrity, and this is kind of mood for this book, business mood, not science mood. I'd like to mention this kind of mood. So we are not living in this mood. This is business-based one-page proposal. How to get, subtitle is like this: how to get your business pitch onto one page, persuasive page. But we are living in more dry, I'm talking about socially dry, not very excited environment. But he was in very excited world. So please have such a perspective to follow this textbook. But most time you will find some slang, American slang or business slang. So if you have some questions about terminology, not in scientific term, but in business term, let's discuss together, or let's find some definition or some meaning related to those terminologies. That is one of my wishes with you. Then 잠깐 제가 이름은 모르겠는데 아마도 옆에 계신 분이 이름이 뭐라고요? 정규훈 씨. 우리 그래 규훈 씨가 그러면 finally 좀 읽어주실래요? Would you read from finally?
Finally, it was time for our business meeting, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, we met aboard his yacht in the Monte Carlo harbor. I was prepared for an in-depth discussion of the elaborate business plan my father and I had sent to him a few months earlier concerning our company's activities in Horn of Africa. I was prepared for detailed questions about the intricacies of our proposal, which concerned an equipment dealership I want to develop as a joint venture. Kashugi had other ideas. I asked for this meeting. He said, because I wanted to teach you something very important to me that could be very important to you. How to write a one-page business proposal.
Thank you. Who wanted to teach the author about writing one-page proposal, one-page business proposal? Simplification, Khashoggi, businessman. And here again, we have some place name, Monte Carlo Harbor. Also, what is yacht? Y-A-C-H-T.
It's a kind of boat.
Boat, but expensive one.
Expensive one, haven't.
Not cheap one. Also for dealership. Yes, and would you read those few words?
Those few words put me on alert. Obviously, I had made some kind of mistake with my business plans. At first, I was shocked. Like most businessmen, I was trained to be thorough, meticulous and detailed in my presentations. I had not expected that my 50-page proposal could possibly have been considered too lengthy, but obviously it was. I wondered, was this my cue to thank him for his time and leave?
Then?
Apparently not. Not only was Khashoggi not pushing me out the door, he could not have been more friendly, and it was apparent that he was in earnest. He really wanted me to understand what he was trying to say. I listened intently as Khashoggi continues. The one-page proposal has been one of the keys to my business success, and it can be invaluable to you too. Few decision makers can ever afford to read more than one page when deciding if they are interested in a deal or not. This is even more true for people of a different culture or language.
Thank you. Stop. You read 2 paragraphs. Thank you so much. Apparently not. Why it was said apparently not? You started with those few words, put me on alert. Alert. What is alert? A-L-E-R-T. Alert.
I was little bit amazed, or it was just come in front of me.
Kind of alarm or warning or need
Yeah.
to take attention and alert. Alert is kind of letter sign. Bingo. So obviously, the author thought he made kind of mistakes, right? So kind of left side brings. So at first he was shocked. How many pages did he have? 50. But Khashoggi is talking about 1 page. And why he is saying apparently not? And what was the question beforehand? I wondered, this was my cue to thank him for his time and leave. What does this sentence mean? First of all, I'd like to emphasize, mostly when we write a research paper or research proposal, mostly it's emotionally neutral or dry. It doesn't involve our emotion. Even to be objective, we are trained to be not emotional. Unlike our scientific proposal, this book spends lots of times for emotional issue. Here, think about his own emotion. Think about the place where he was. He is not at office. He was invited at some place. Even he may not be very comfortable. If some person is comfortable at that place, he should be a very rich person. He can be very proud of attending there. But the author of this book was not that much rich at that time. Even he may not be rich as the other person were, like Khashoggi. So he was afraid of something. What is something at the moment?
Maybe he cannot get his attention, and it's just a clue that it's okay and your practice quite long, it should be short, something like that. That he was afraid of the thing that he will not get importance in front of Khashoggi.
Very close to reality, I agree. If I repeat what you told me, not literally but emotionally, literally boring. Let's have some emotional aspect. Simply, he would like to have some deal with Khashoggi, but spontaneously or immediately he got kind of negative feedback. So he was afraid to lose the deal. But it was not the case. Apparently not. The sentence, I wondered, this was my cue, my moment to thank him. He would like to thank him as I thank you, but should I leave? Simply, it means, should I stop talking about my deal? But apparently not. Answer was not to stop the deal. Because Khashoggi showed his own interest to improve the author's proposal. So, answer was apparently not. It's not time for him to leave. It's time to have advice or mentoring from Khashoggi. That was very fortunate time. Not only was Khashoggi not pushing me out the door, think about this. If someone push out the door, it means kind of very impolite. Push out the door. You are invited, but you are not worthy to be here. Get out. This is kind of rejecting. For job interview, you apply something, you are presenting something there, but you are rejected. During your job interview, think about such a situation. You are accepted by your writing, but when you present something during the interview, the CEO or very important person could stop your talking or presentation. It can be very impolite, but it could happen in business manner. So, the author of this book is talking about such a bad situation, but at that moment, the situation was that much bad. Even it was very nice to get help from Khashoggi. So, he could not have been more friendly. It means he was very friendly to help the author of this book, and it was apparent he was in earnest. He really wanted him to understand what he was trying to help. So you need to understand this kind of atmosphere of friendship. But during this textbook, although the author of this book was not good in terms of one-page proposal writing when he had discussion with Khashoggi, the author of this book was already good in terms of social skill. You may find some hint at later chapters. Because of such a charm, I want to say charm, emotion and charm, personal charm or attraction, he had attention of Khashoggi. Also, he could get support from Khashoggi. So, as a scientist, we are trained to be objective. As a result, we are so dry in terms of human interaction. But in reality, to get funded or to get job offer, we need to be socially or politically correct or socially attractive. Once we are socially attractive, we may open some new possibilities. That is the lesson from this book. And so this was even more true for people of different cultural language. I'd like to talk about cultural language later time, but anyway, we are already international, 2 Pakistan and 3 Korea here. But we may have Bertram and someone else. We are missing the other 4 foreigners here. 아니 그 화연에서 오신 갑자기 성함을 제가 다 기억을 못해서 미라씨, 예, 미라씨 그 다음 패러그 그래도 the message.
The message was gracefully delivered and clear. The proposal I had prepared was not suited for a man like Khashoggi, not because it lacked thoroughness, but because it lacked brevity. Following common practice, our original proposal was divided into 2 sections: company, business, risk factors, market capitalizations, financial management, disadvantage, legal, and reference, and included dozens of diagrams, charts, and maps. But in preparing it, I quickly realized we had failed to recognize an important fact about our target audience. Khashoggi simply couldn't take the time to digest our exhaustive proposal and make a decision. His days were measured in minutes, not hours. Even 50 pages, short by conventional business plan standards, would take too long to read for a man who goes and sold business and moved capital around the world before breakfast.
Thank you. Even 50 pages short by conventional business plan standards would take too long to read for a man who bought and sold business and moved capital all around the world before breakfast. What does this mean?
He was very quick in taking decision, and his life is quite fast.
Using what kind of transportation?
Maybe he has so well connected with his business all over the world that he's very fast.
He has extensive network.
Yes, not only extensive network, take this literally. take too long to read for a man, I'd like to take your attention here. A man who bought and sold business, bought and sold, buy and sell, then move capital all around the world before breakfast. So he start working before breakfast. Even before breakfast, he may have several transactions involving selling and buying some companies or stocks. Also move around capitals using a personal jet. I'd like to emphasize personal jet, kind of symbolic for very wealthy people. So they are very quick in terms of decision and in terms of moving all around the world, not only physically but also financially. So, but in several 10 years, it's only for person like this. At that time, this is, please remember, this before internet era. In terms of internet, it was,
1980.
this story is about 80s, mid-80s. In mid-80s, it was before internet. Only very wealthy people had such a traffic, information traffic and physical traffic, using personal jet and using personal network. They have such a quick transportation and quick transaction. But nowadays, even we scientists have lots of information. We should choose. We should decide. We are more like Khashoggi, not in terms of finance, but in terms of information. Even we have many online journals and we have many, we should read, we should discard and we should accept. And so we will be more like businessmen in terms of decision-making process. So it's better to have some compact presentation and compact writing. That is one aspect I'd like to share with you. 그 가쇼기부터 또.
Khashoggi explained that he was motivated to help us for several reasons. He already had business dealings in the region. He liked us and our general idea, and of course he had the money. According to his biographer at that time, Khashoggi had direct investment in 1,500 enterprises and was earning $200,000 a day in interest from his university.
Uninvested capital. 괜찮습니다. It's okay. 그래도 읽고 끝내시죠.
제가 읽던 부분 맞죠?
예.
He had been enthusiastic and ready to move forward until our elaborate proposal gave him second thoughts and
overload은 좀 이상하네요. I have some question about overload. I think it's overwritten.
발음이 흔치 않으세요.
It's not matter of problem.
많이 읽을게요. Frustrated his ability to make a decision. By the time I met with him, he had gotten the proposal of his desk, passing it along to lower level boards for evaluation.
Thank you. I'd like to share this packed video here. By reading in your own voice, you may find that some words are not very familiar with you, not in terms of its visual, but in terms of pronunciation. So by reading in a loud voice, you can improve your own speaking. I'd like to give you the word articulation. This time I emphasize this. Articulation. This is technique of speech. So, but not just by reading by your eyes, but also reading by your own voice. For job interview, you are asked to speak out by your own voice. So if you are hesitant to speak out, also you are very stressful under such a situation, and you may have worse impression than you really are. So by reading the textbook in your own voice, you can improve your speaking, not only vocabulary but also articulation. That should be byproduct of this coursework. I'd like to share time with you in terms of language articulation and speech articulation. Also, time to time, I myself have found some difficult word, not difficult by reading, but difficult by speaking. Also, here, overwrought, I is saying, I need to check my own dictionary, overwrought. I'm not sure this is a good English word or not. Even I think overwritten, or I think he meant overwritten. But I don't think overwrought is a good word or not. So, anyway, the problems he had is not uniquely his problem. It could be our own problems. Then let's skip some part. We read those sections to have impression about business perspective and the moment the author met Khashoggi. Now jump to the end. And so I wrote this book, and Muhammad, you will keep it as you will discover.
So I wrote this book. As you will discover, the one-page proposal has historical antecedents. Its basic formula has been used by Caesar, Napoleon, Thomas Jefferson and Lincoln in the past, and by NASA to communicate with otherworldly beings in the future. As I write these words, President Bush, through the Defense Department, has issued a request, as reported by Reuters, asking for anti-terror proposals in the very same format I recommended.
Stop there, and then next. application. 이름을 다 못 외우겠네. 예, 힘. 예.
His immensely intuitive sense. He's in hurry-up mode, so he wants everyone's best thinking, and he's not in the mood to waste time with superfluous details. While he can't compare the tragedy of Stamford 11 to normal business transactions, we can't escape the conclusion that in the modern business world, direct paths to action are at a similar premium. There is a need for speed out there that sometimes makes every decision seem like an emergency. It's unrealistic to think that key decision makers will alter their normal decision-making speed when considering new ideas that cross their desks. The one-page proposal is a time-sensitive document. Not only is it a quick read, it contains all the crucial data needed to make a decision. I didn't say that today's movers and shakers were only fast. They are also smart and they absorb new material quickly, so they can apply it to their battlefield view of the world.
Thank you. Stop here. One-page proposal. He explained the nature of a one-page proposal. So, in the pages ahead, you will learn how to write the one-page proposal yourself. Ahead. So I'll talk about my own. You have the copy. One-page proposal. This book is one-page proposal for business. Mine is one-page proposal for scientists and engineers. I wrote this for previous session, and in brief, I'd like to mention some style. Actually, you will find this style around the textbook, but briefly, I have titled one-page proposal for scientists and engineers as my own exercise. I closely followed this book methodology. So also, you can choose your own topic, but I chose this topic. One-page proposal for one-page proposal book. Actually, this is what the author had done at the end of the textbook. If you look at the textbook, this book includes several example proposals, and among them, he had his own one-page proposal book. Actually, you need to look at the book and to find the book. So, please make some comparison between his proposal and mine. Also, please develop your own idea about your own proposal. Like, you yourself can write the one-page proposal book for some specific target, or you can write something about your own chosen topics. Anyway, you need to develop your own idea, and I'm providing my own. Here, then, practical research proposal writing is self-development and language articulation skills. So, through this coursework, not only taking videos, also I'll spend time to write the materials. I take my own time to revise mine. Mine will be updated. Also, along this line of effort, I may need to write another proposal. Personally, I'm very interested in space biology. I'm trying to get funded by Korean funding agency in that regard. So to get funded, I like to shape or sharpen my own ideas. One-page proposal is a tool not only for communication, but also it can be a tool to shape your own idea. That's the point I'd like to share with you. And at this chapter, in that regard, I'd like to read the last sentence. In the pages ahead, or simply in the chapters ahead, chapter 2 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have remaining chapters, total 9. In the chapters ahead of you, you will learn how to write a one-page proposal for yourself, and by yourself, and of yourself. And I think you will find a perfect communication tool for most proposal situations. Let me paraphrase this. You will find a perfect writing tool for your own CV or job application. Even not only in business life but also private life. From internet, I found some marriage proposal written by physicist for his girlfriend, another physics student. It's a kind of fun, but anyway, one-page proposal, either business matter or private matter, you can choose your own topic, apart from financial one. It can be fascinating, also it can be very challenging too, in terms of achieving its ultimate goal. But not only for research proposal, not only for job interview proposal like CV, you can write down your own personal dream, kind of ultimate dream, and you can update year by year or month by month. That can be benefits for you as a person. So like all process, it's a journey. Let's get started. That is the message from the author, and that is the message from myself. So this can be not only exercise of writing, but also exercising or implementing your dream. It can be a dream project, but to be eligible for this coursework, you do not need to write very personal one, but also writing personal is okay. So topic will be very free. You can choose any kind of topic, like mine or he is also kind of fictional one or real one. You can choose any topic in one page proposal. This time, it's a time for us to exercise such writing in the forms of one-page format. Any proposal you can write in one page can be acceptable for this course. So please be free. But firstly, let's follow the format as I gave you. I gave you word file so you can copy, or you can write your own based on mine to save time for formatting. Here's my suggestion. So, unless you have question, please finish this questionnaire. During writing such a question, you can ask a question, or even you can make some suggestion.